Well, for more, let's cross now to Brussels to speak with France 24's Dave Keating. Dave, is there any chance at all the UK and the EU could meet this deadline?
No, there's no possibility that a deal could be agreed in the next day. But the UK side is kind of changing the definition of what Boris Johnson deadline meant. In September, he very clearly was saying that a deal had to be agreed by today's date. Now they're saying, no, he just meant he would assess whether enough progress has been made to continue talks. So they're saying he's going to make that assessment either tomorrow or Saturday, based on what happens at today's European Council, where they're scheduled to talk about Brexit. Now, based on the draft conclusions that I've seen from today's council, it doesn't appear that anything's going to change on the EU side. They're going to basically pretend that Johnson's deadline didn't exist. They're going to tell Michel Barnier, the EU's chief Brexit negotiator, to keep on carrying on and keep working on the existing negotiating mandate that he has from the EU 27. There doesn't appear to be any kind of splintering in EU 27 leaders, at least based on the preparatory meetings that have taken place already this week. A meeting of Europe ministers on Tuesday really seemed like everyone was on the same page. Of course, prime ministers and presidents who are meeting here in Brussels today tend to have more tempers flared and tend to be a little more dramatic, let's say. So let's see if any rifts emerge. It doesn't look like any rift would emerge on the level playing field issue. That's the need for regulatory alignment in the UK. No splits emerging there. What people will be keenly watching today is fisheries. They'll want to see if the other EU leaders challenge or push back on French President Emmanuel Macron and his very hardline position on fisheries. So far, there really hasn't been any sign of that, but that is what the British are keenly watching. They would also like to see the EU side spell out exactly what's on offer here. This week, they've been saying, look, at this point, we really don't even know what level of EU market access we're being offered here. So if we're being asked to make tough compromises and especially tough political decisions for Boris Johnson, it's not clear that this free trade agreement is worth it. We really want them to spell out what's on offer here, because right now they say it looks like they would get less EU market access than other EU free trade deals with, let's say, Canada or Japan.
Now, assuming Boris Johnson does decide to continue these trade talks, what happens next, Dave?
Well, they're going to continue talks, but there is a fear that at this point they're only going to be kind of a charade while both sides behind the scenes prepare for a no-deal Brexit. Because what's really required here, if EU 27 unity holds today, and we'll see, but if it holds, that means the UK is going to have to be the one to move here, and that means some major political sacrifice for Boris Johnson. The key question is whether he's willing to do that. If not, and the EU isn't willing to compromise on its red lines, then we may just have kind of pretend negotiations going on over the next weeks, even though both sides now think a deal is impossible. That really worries businesses because they think it sends the wrong message. Businesses need to start preparing for this cliff-edge Brexit at the end of the year. And if both sides are just continuing talks because they don't want to be the one to walk away from the talks and be blamed for the economic chaos early next year, it then sending the wrong message to businesses who aren't preparing, and especially don't have the bandwidth to prepare in these coronavirus times.
Dave Keating in Brussels, thank you very much.